Yep. I was going to say OX Coast just released something. Been a fan of them for a while, right? I mean, I think it's a fantastic product that we've got an on and off ramp direct to PulseChain. They just released the other day that the on ramp to PulseChain from any US based bank account is now open. And I think there are 4 states that do not. Yep, here they are: Alaska, Florida, Louisiana, and New York. Your bank can be located anywhere, but residents of these states are not allowed to participate. So they also have a product with Old Glory Bank, which makes it super nice and easy to open an account, fund your Old Glory Bank account like you would any other bank account, and send it direct back and forth to Coast. So as a payee, you can on ramp, you can off ramp. I've done it as tests, and a decent amount back and forth. I off sent it into the bank account to make sure it worked, and I put it right back in a few days later just to make sure that it was working. Smooth trans. Obviously these are banking institutions, so you do want to wait until Monday through Friday, usually during normal business hours, for them to go through. They go through pretty quickly. If you do it on the weekend, well, you might have a day or two to wait until the weekend's over. One of the only bad problems, but beats the hell out of a 5-day wait for Coinbase or anything like that when you're trying to wait for a decent amount of money. So
sometimes a week actually for Coinbase. So
5 business days, I should say.
Oh yeah.
So this is very exciting. These guys are doing great things. Their customer service is top notch. I had a little bit of an issue where I didn't read the directions like I should have. When I was talking to you the other day, I mentioned that. And for those who like to read instructions,
right,
here's this.
Right.
It's because I didn't follow the instructions and I did something I shouldn't have done. But again, reached out to Stoic and the team, and they immediately fixed it that morning, like right away. So great customer service, great product. These guys are awesome. And don't forget, we've talked about it before. If you have a little bit of the weight token and you stake it in their platform, it will lower your fees to 0.25% or something like that. So otherwise, if you don't have any, I think it's a 1% fee on something, but 0.25, it saves you quite a bit of money. And I think the amount that it takes to lock up whatever it is like $50 or $60. So totally worth it if you're going to be onboarding larger amounts. Buy yourself some weight token and lock it up to save yourself some fees.
And at this point, I know you've long been a proponent of Coast, and thank God they are back. I mean, they had that downtime for a few months, but they really have kind of become like, if you were onboarding a new person that had a fair amount of cash into the ecosystem, that would be probably the best place to do it, because especially if they are a bit newer to crypto, it's a tougher sell to an extent, even though they're probably going to need to learn this skill. It's a bit of a tougher sell to be like, okay, register on Coinbase or Kraken or whatever it may be, send your fiat into there, buy ETH or USDC, send that into your wallet. Like with Coast, it's much more coasty. You have a bank account, you can just send the money, ACH transfer out of your bank, basically right on over to Coast, and you can get right into the ecosystem, get it straight into your wallet. So I think like for people that are newish to crypto and are open to the idea, it's probably a safer entry point, or not safer, but like easier for them, I guess, to understand,
Yeah. And you can mint right into, you don't even have to put it into the Coast token, the CST token. You can buy from your cash in your account. Once you deposit it, you can buy right to Hex, Pulse, PulseX, and I think Incentive as well. So you can buy any of those, or you can put it in the Coast token and then use Piteus to do a swap. Again, it routes through the stable pools pretty well. So, the ratios are good. There's just decent liquidity to do that. So I think it's great. I think it's a great product. They've worked their ass off to get things back up and running. Again, with some redundancy now too. They're offering the different bank accounts and whatnot. So.
And if they get that done, you know, and you don't even have to worry about necessarily getting an Old Glory account, you can just use whatever bank you currently have. Now, it may not work for your local credit union or something like that, but
Yeah.
if you have, you know, one of the not even prominent, but like a known national bank, and they have, you know, you can get through there with that. I mean, man, that's just going to open it up for everybody at that point. Then, so yeah,
Yeah, I like the Old Glory aspect though, because from any account you can wire money into that account and have it specifically for that. Then you're not, they are familiar with Coast, right? So
right,
you're never going to have a transaction stopped because they think it might be fraud or whatever.
right,
Some of these banks are very particular on what you spend your money and where you send it to. I've had transactions to Coinbase blocked because they thought
mm,
it was fraudulent. And,
yeah.
and you miss a decent opportunity if there's a dip. So that's one of the reasons why I like the Old Glory Bank option. Super easy to open the account, super easy to fund it, and they're very familiar with Coast, so you can go back and forth pretty lightning quick.
Yeah, you're right, because maybe that'd be adding an extra step if you did this, but to basically send something from your personal bank to Old Glory Bank and then just put it right into the ecosystem from there, I think it's
Yeah.
probably a good idea too. So
Yep.